We are Sorted, a group of mates who have your back when it comes to all things food. From cooking battles to gadget reviews
And it's not worth it.
and cookbook challenges to a midweek meal packs app.
Crack your eggs, bake.
We uncover the tools that'll help us all cook and eat smarter. Join our community where everything we do starts with you.
So here we are, another Pick the Premium. Today, two of our normals, Jamie and Mike, will both go head to head to see if they can blind taste test the difference and pick the premium, the more expensive, of two similar items. How's that sound, Mike?
It sounds great.
It sounds like eating food, and I'm always down for that.
We're going to add a competitive element to it. The person who guesses the most correctly gets to take all of the ingredients home with them.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Oh, excellent.
Are you ready for your first one?
Hit me.
You've got A and B.
Have you given me a really small loaf of bread?
It's a cake.
It is a cake. I have baked you a very simple Victoria sponge mix, and it is the vanilla that we're going to discuss. One of these is made with a vanilla flavouring, and one of them is made with a more premium vanilla extract.
Lovely, moist sponge.
Sweet.
I'm not getting hit in the face with vanilla.
I'm getting a bit of vanilla.
It's like that subtle undertone of vanilla flavour that you get in cakes.
Let me try the other one.
Oh, hello. Oh, I'm in Madagascar. That has so much more vanilla to it.
I was very careful to put an equal quantity of each into each identically weighed out batter. So there is no difference in the volume that was used. Interesting, you're getting more vanilla there.
There's an instant difference. This one tastes more vanilla-y.
It's almost fruity because of the vanilla.
How often do you get to just have cake in both hands and just chomp on it?
I'm having such a great time.
That is very much a vanilla cake, whereas that is a sponge cake.
But which is the premium?
Oh, well, now I don't know.
I've been on a journey, but I'm gonna have to say that this one here tastes far more of vanilla, and therefore I think that that's premium.
B is the premium.
You can take your blindfold off. That's A and B in the right order. You guessed correctly. B is the premium. It's made by basically macerating vanilla pods from the orchid flower in alcohol. And therefore you get more than just vanilla. You get all the other fruitiness of the pod that comes out, which is why an extract or a vanilla bean extract has a lot more flavour. Whereas the other one, although it is darker, it has been coloured with a caramel colouring, is just the vanillin, the chemical that smells like vanilla.
No, I thought that these would be the other way round. I thought that would be, the dark one would be the extract.
Very difficult usually to tell in baked goods, I think, in cookies and cakes. Much easier to tell in a shake or an ice cream. So A works out at £2.63 for 100 millilitres, whereas the Nielsen Massey vanilla, proper vanilla bean extract, is £11.75 per 100 ml. Quick maths, what's that, 4.5 times more expensive?
On the basis that the flavour is so much stronger, I think the premium one is probably worth the cash because you can use less of it, which means it will last longer. But when you do want that kick of vanilla, it's there. I would buy the more expensive one.
That seems like a no-brainer. I would spend more money getting the extract.
Started with cake. Can it get better?
I think it might be about to.
Oh, yes.
Ah, bread. You can smell it instantly as well.
It feels sourdoughy, just in shape.
Interesting observation.
Sourdough.
They are both sourdough.
Yes, I shouldn't be a normal.
So one is a sourdough pre-sliced from a supermarket, and one is a sourdough that we got from a deli and have sliced ourselves.
Crust on the outside, chewy on the inside. Taste-wise, that delicious mixture of kind of sour, sweet, tangy.
Move on to B, see what you think.
It's a lot drier.
Taste-wise, this tastes sour and it's really chewy and delicious. This one tastes nice, but it is denser. It tastes more like bread out of a packet, not freshly cut, freshly baked.
Which is the premium?
I'm going to say A is the premium.
I enjoy this one better. I think this one should cost more, therefore I'm going this one premium.
You can take your blindfold off. I mean, you're absolutely right. A is more premium. It was bought from a deli and we sliced it ourselves. B is kind of a premium, higher end loaf, pre-sliced, you get from a supermarket.
It's got all of the characteristics that I would associate with sourdough bread, and I wouldn't have thought twice. And now you give me this and compare it, and this one is more chewy, it's more sour.
I think no matter how well wrapped and packaged it is, if you're pre-slicing bread, it is going to go, a little bit stale quicker. So another question is, when can you buy premium?
That's the question, mate, because it entirely depends on how much each of these cost.
The supermarket sliced sourdough is £2, and for the same size weight loaf, the deli one is £4.50. So it is a little bit more than twice the price.
Throughout lockdown, obviously one of the massive hobbies that people took up was making their own sourdough. And I saw so many people online say, do you know what, I'm never going to complain about paying £4 or £5 for a good loaf of sourdough again, because they suddenly appreciated the amount of work that went into making a really decent loaf. The thought of spending £4 or £5 on a loaf of bread to me is still a bit alien, but when it tastes that good, and in comparison to that, I would buy it.
Spin round, as always, A and B. 2 plates this time, just so you understand what you're eating. It's a plate of penne pasta. It's not the pasta we're judging, it's what it's coated in.
It smells tomatoey.
What are you getting from A?
A rich tomato sauce.
This is going to be hard.
Try B. Both penne, both cooked at the same time, both seasoned and dressed in the same way with the same amount of tomato sauce. Oop, nearly. Try again.
I mean, there's a bit of texture there. If it's a tomato sauce, I'm going to guess it's onion and garlic, but I wouldn't say that there's massively strong flavours coming through there.
Oh, they're both close. They're both very close.
A is definitely deeper and richer in terms of tomato flavour than B is.
I feel like this one here tastes a little bit blander than this one here. I can taste herbs in both of them, like oregano or basil.
Which one's the premium, if you had to guess?
I don't know, but I'm just going to have to say that this one here is my choice for the premium.
Based on flavour, I'd say A is premium.
Okay, take off your blindfold. I'll give you a little dish of each.
Instantly on looks, I'm starting to think maybe I was wrong, because this has actually got a redder tinge. It's deeper in colour.
A definitely has bigger flecks of basil. B feels like a tin of chopped tomatoes with some Italian herbs stirred through it.
Oh, I don't know now.
After seeing it, I'm happy with my answer.
You actually got that one wrong.
Damn it!
Damn.
The premium, or the more expensive one, is B. Both examples are made in Italy. It's a higher percentage tomato pulp, they're organic, it's got onions, it's got less tomato puree, extra virgin olive oil, basil, sea salt, that's it. Whereas A has a lot of extra herbs, carrot, added sugar, and a few other ingredients, including, as a percentage, twice as much tomato concentrate, which I think probably makes it more tangy and more punchy.
If I was making a tomato sauce at home, I would put as few ingredients in it as B has.
Price-wise, A works out at 50 pence per 100 grams, whereas B, with Daylesford Organic, is £1.32 per 100 grams. So 2.5 times more expensive.
As with all of these things, the artisanal producers will invariably make a better product, and you'll pay more for that. On the other side, you have to budget with what money you have available. So it's a bit of give and take in both aspects, isn't it? In complete honesty, most times I would make my own tomato sauce. However, there are times when I come home late from work and I pop by a supermarket, and that's when this information will be really useful to me.
Here's the thing, Ben. If I want a tomato sauce and I can't be bothered to make it myself, I'm going to buy A. If I want a tomato sauce and I want to know what ingredients go into it and the quality of those ingredients, I'm going to make my own, because I can still make that cheaper than buying B.
Okie dokie. You have 2 sides of a scone, slightly warmed, with clotted cream and jam. It's the jam we're talking about. You're gonna have to use your hands with this one. Might get a bit messy.
As if the last one didn't get messy.
Lovely and fruity, nice strawberry flavour, quite jelly-like in terms of texture.
I mean, very tasty. B.
Okay. Oh,
Ebbers! Right, Take 2.
That's a different league, Evers.
Quite subtle.
I've never said this about a jam before, but it's more complex. Texture-wise, it's less jelly-like. It also seems to have an alcoholic flair to it.
Pick a premium.
Option A is premium. I got a bit of a chunk in there. It tasted very much of strawberry.
B's the premium.
Take off your blindfold.
Did I suck it all off, or were you less generous with the clotted cream on B?
You went pretty heavy on the slurpage, yeah. Bang on. You got a point for that.
I'm annoyed I got that wrong. Goes to show like visuals as well make a big difference.
B is Confiture Parisienne, jam reinvented. Traditional revisited with audacious ingenuity, artisanal attention to detail and a splash of fashion.
Sorry, have we moved into a pretentious ingredients video?
It's grandmother's recipe for stewed strawberries to keep all the gluttony of the strawberry heart and the freshness of its juice. The clove is reminiscent of the woody notes of the barely picked fruit for a tasting more real than life.
Clove is probably what I was feeling with the alcohol. Not burn, but the
numbing of an
sensation.
alcohol, yeah. I think that's probably very fair.
Now I've got a chunk of that strawberry. It does taste amazing.
A is a supermarket, pretty basic range strawberry jam. A works out at just 18 pence per 100 grams.
That is cheap.
B is £5.98 per 100 grams.
What?
33 times as expensive.
There's a C.
To add in an extra element, I made our own. So homemade jam. I made yesterday with in-season British strawberries and vanilla sugar. That was literally it. And that works out at 43 pence per 100 grams. So more than 10 times cheaper than the expensive, but about twice as expensive as the supermarket.
Interesting.
The Whole Fruits is nice.
So this sits in the middle in price and absolutely sits in the middle in terms of the balance between the two.
Which is your favourite?
Serve me a scone with clotted cream and jam. This jam, number A. I would have been very, very happy, and I'd be happy anywhere that I had that. B is definitely better.
Where is it worth spending the money?
It's worth spending the money far closer to A than it is to B.
Last one, 2 plates. Both of them have steak.
Oh, yes.
Both of them, I've done nothing more than season and sear in a tiny little drizzle of oil and then left to rest, and we've served them sort of medium rare-ish.
I don't care if it's premium or not. It's steak and it's delicious. It feels fatty, but actually when eating it, it's not chewy, you're not chewing through the fat. It does have a lovely crust on the outside of it. It's well seasoned. Well done you. A good steaky flavour, I would say.
Wow. That is so nice. Imagine if this one's the premium. Oh my goodness.
So these are slightly different in the sense they're not identical products, although they are both ribeye. One is high welfare grass and foraged fed beefsteak from the UK, and one is from Japan, Wagyu.
Oh, right. Wow.
It feels fattier, but in the best possible way, because that fat equals flavour, and that's the best thing about ribeye.
It's almost 50% fat, 50% meat in a mouthful, and it tastes amazing, and it melts.
The texture is just completely different.
In what way?
It's like melting butter in your mouth.
Which do you think is the premium?
B is my premium.
I'd say that this is premium, and this is not, but it's still delicious.
Take your blindfold off. I mean, you've scoffed most of it, but
Oh, I have.
you are bang on.
This is exceptional.
Oh, look at that fat. That steak is almost translucent.
We are looking at premium in terms of price. They are actually both premium cuts of beef. They're just very different and priced differently. A, British ribeye, grass and forage fed, pretty high end on a supermarket range. £25 per kilo. If you're looking at a 200 gram steak, you're looking at about a £5. B is black cattle from Japan. It is Wagyu, grade A5, shipped to the UK and cut here and frozen. This is £200 a kilo, which means your 200 gram steak is getting about 40 quid at cost.
I mean, it absolutely tastes phenomenal.
It's not comparable to an everyday steak.
It is exceptional. When am I going to be able to spend £40 on just one portion of protein for a meal.
When we had the exceptional Wagyu at Umu, you think about the size of portion. It was small cubes that you absolutely savour, rather than an 8-ounce or 200 gram steak. So I think perhaps you eat it in a slightly different form.
How did you have the nerve to cook it? It feels almost too premium for me to risk losing.
I think that's a really fair comment, because if you buy it in a restaurant, it will cost you probably 3 times that, because there's going to be a markup on it. So you'd spend a lot more. So trying it at home is a much more affordable way of doing it.
You need the confidence that you know what you're doing to make the most of that.
It tastes amazing. It tastes a lot better than option A. But option A was still delicious. We're just very fortunate, but wow. I mean, if you can get an opportunity, I would 100% say try it once, because it's worth the money. But you're not going to be buying it regularly for steak night, are you?
All in all, Jay, and you scored 4 out of 5 when you were picking the premium. Mike scored 3.
Oh, yes!
Oh, I'm actually really quite gutted about that, because I wanted that steak.
Take out from today?
There are certainly things that are worth paying for the expertise in making them, like the sourdough, even if it feels expensive.
Even when you can tell something is a far better quality, it still doesn't mean that it's worth spending the money on it. You're more likely to find a happy medium with a less premium but better value for money product.
But mostly, my takeout is how disappointed I am that I won't eat that Wagyu steak again.
You'll have to ask Jamie very nicely. He might share. I doubt it. Over to you guys. What did you think about those 5? And more importantly, comment down below with which ingredient we should compare next time.
We've also built the Sorted Club, where you can get tons of foodie inspo using the PAX Midweek Meal app, discover and share restaurant recommendations using the Eat app, listen and contribute to our Feast Your Ears podcast, and send us ideas for new cookbooks you'll receive throughout the year. Check it all out by heading to sorted.club. And now a blooper.
Right, open up your mouth. Oh no, hold. Are your fingers clean? Wipe your fingers. It's like feeding a child.